Why are you describing food with a messy, splattery dead body? Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own. Globules. Yeah, that word. Thank you, Chair-kun. Chair-kun knows all. Who's the real senpai? Just like the ninth man, did I read that? Oh. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut. Someone set up us the bomb. Who wants to eat spaghetti? It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, oh god, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone in his arm. I hate shit like that, or whatever it said, I don't even know. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces. Half of his head had simply collapsed. This is disgusting, I'm sorry guys. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza. What is with your fascination with dead bodies and food? I'm getting so mad. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks. They were all familiar to Junpei. No mistake about that. It's Snake. Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei heard it catch in her throat. The writer's really hungry while doing this bit. I think so. That's exactly what it sounds like. He was really hungry. He's like, looks like a pizza with the tomato sauce and some Sora's Nipples pizza. Way to reference my own highlight. 9 million gold to pay off. Exilia too? Whee! All debt. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. How do your teeth curl? Huh? Oh, it sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Ooh, have fun playing Fire Emblem. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces. 9 stories, 9 cannibals, 9 pizzas. Snake was probably murdered. Probably. Oh, that's so cool, Remix! That's super sweet! I guess they had to have one of those badge things that they gave out, right? Because I heard you had to have that badge thing to get a t-shirt. That's awesome! You gotta wear it, like, every day. Maybe not every day, but you know. Chances are he was killed the same way the 9th man was. Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each one of them in turn and continued. It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it, alone. And waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was over for Snake, but he didn't give up. Now, we have to try and think of whose numbers match up to door 3. Whose numbers have a, what do you call it? I forget, that digital root of 3. In order to get him in. Because you need 3 people to open the door. So, Oh, really? I haven't seen much of the Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem. I want to see more, but I haven't seen as much. I heard some people are disappointed with either Fates or that one. I can't remember, but I don't know. Almost done with Fire Emblem Awakening and Valkyria Chronicles. Woo! I mean,
I haven't beaten Valkyria Chronicles, but I beat Fire Emblem Awakening and I enjoyed it. Once that door shut, it was over for Snake, but he didn't give up. Sorry, I just read that in my voice.
He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose.
That face.
Unfortunately, it didn't work. The detonator's only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead. And then 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
Oh, I think, wait, who do you play? I think Val was talking about 999 combinations, I don't know. Oh no, chair. Sorry, my nose is bugging me.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake.
Yeah, Valkyria Chronicles is kind of tough for me to play, but that's because, yeah, difficult.
It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer. Exactly. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Let's see. Ace is 1, which is easy to figure out. Most of them have numbers similar. Snake was 2. Santa's 3, cause sun. Clover's 4. Is Junpei's 5? Ah, thank you. Val typed it way quicker than I'm saying it. Those are some amazing questions there, Chair.
That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Junpei crossed his arms and grunted.
He's just like... Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed? When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone. Then that means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts. Yeah, that means anybody could be the killer.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
June seemed shocked.
How can you say one of us is a killer so casually?
Well, not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers. Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know. Derp. What Zero wants? Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and loser. Whichever makes it through door 9 is a winner, sorry whoever, and those who don't are the losers. Zero's trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero's trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. I just read this, and it's really weird. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship.
Social link time! Let's do it, let's do it.
Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Then, does that mean that the person who killed Snake?
Yes, almost certainly Zero himself. If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero.
Hey, Togu! It's been a while. Oh, hisashiburi desu. Snowy, are you okay? Okay, he's okay.
He masterminded the game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
Junpei hadn't really considered that. If Zero had killed Snake, then Zero was on the ship with them. Was Zero still on the ship with them? Junpei wasn't sure, or of course. What do you think? I'm gonna save while you decide. I'm so slowly. Make it go away. Social link go. How do you do digital route? It's kind of how, do you see how Flames did it there? It pretty much explains how to do digital route. Oh, Val is explaining. Val's the master for anything like 999. Val says Zero has to be on the ship. Kay says number 1. There's 2 votes for being on the ship. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Because I think 2 wins now. Okay, so I guess number 2 wins. Zero's still on the ship with them. Of course. Of course he was. That was obvious. Zero was somewhere on the ship, but Junpei had no idea where. Junpei mumbled to himself, lost in thought. Where could Zero be hiding? Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting moaning noise, and moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone. I think Zero is one of us. Every human body in the room froze. Oh, what other kind of bodies are in the room, Junpei? The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Eyes darted from face to face. One of those faces was the face of their jailer. But who? Junpei said, well, that's possible? Or that's crazy. Isn't that where pizza goes? Wait, that's cool. One of Yukiko's palette things looks like Fukawa. That's awesome. You think it's possible? Anybody else? Sorry. And I know it's difficult when everyone's streams are separate. So, what, did I make sense just now in English? I meant to say, with the delay in the stream, it's difficult to answer. Gee, I don't know what I just said. Please ignore that last sentence. English, no. Well, that's possible. Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
One of us! One of... What are you saying, Junpei? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason. No reason? I've got a great reason. And what's that? The bracelets.
English. Yeah, pretty much. He held out his left arm.
Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier, but if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet? Huh, you got a point. I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. Ah, Neo! You brought up Japanese again! It was Santa who answered. So it feels weird to say Santa. Santa!
Ho ho ho! So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us. Or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right? Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
7, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right? Yeah, something like that. Alright then, I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like... sorry, it's Junpei. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right? Yes, something like that. What? That's like twice now. I can't think of any other explanation. So, what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake equals 0 equals one of us. 7 and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well.
Hello, red burning dragon. Sorry, the hello didn't really come out. Hello.
At least they do if Zero's one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up. What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes. Isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide... Nailed it. Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh. Well, that's because,
Junpei choked. His arms spaghetti, knees weak, arms spaghetti! He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea. Damn it.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed. Well, so much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you had only circumstantial evidence.
Yes, chair! Mind food. I know, it kind of fits in with, like, the descriptions earlier. You win. You win.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else, to look at. Just when he thought he could bear it no longer. Sorry, he felt he could bear it no longer. They heard a bell begin to ring. I was like, wait, why is there a pause? Because I don't hear anything. It was the clock at the central staircase.
3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move, now. 7, Clover, Junpei. I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say and sighed. 7 and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
I can what? Ace's words put their feet to moving. Derp.
They all knew how they were going.
Their next destination was Mercury. They're flying to Mercury? It sat bolted to the wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen between the 2 elevators. The Mercury card reader. Junpei stood in front of it with the Mercury keycard. 7 had given him the card.
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
At least that's what he'd said. Junpei slid the card through the reader. The light on the reader turned green and made a tiny electronic noise. Now they were ready. Junpei and June had been chosen as the investigators, the reasoning being that they had been to E-Deck before and no one else had. As before, Junpei sent the elevator ahead to make sure the floor they were heading to wasn't flooded. As before, the elevator returned as dry as when it had left. Sorry. The next main series Pokemon game will be called... Oh, I thought I heard something, but I can't remember it now. Once it had been checked for water, Junpei and June stepped into the elevator. Oh yes, that one! My triangle playing skills. There were only 2 floor buttons they could push. The C and bottom buttons. The rest were destroyed or did nothing when pushed. Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Thanks. Slowly, they began to move downward. Sometime later, Junpei and June stepped off the elevator and onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end. This This is a numbered door.
This is the 8th one we found.
There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircases. They were doors 4 and 5. There were 3 more numbered doors in the large hospital room. Doors 3, 7, and 8. Junpei and June had found another door on E deck, and Lotus and Santa had found a 7th on A deck. There was a 6 on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door on A deck. 4, 5, 3, 7, 8, 6, 1. And now, door 2 stood in front of Junpei. There was only one thing it meant.
Do you think the next door we find?
Yeah, I think so. The next one's gonna be door 9.
Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well. He did his best to put it from his mind and headed back to C deck with June.
Alright, let's open these up.
The pieces of paper they'd folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's legs. There were 7 of them, all told. They were written on paper pulled from Junpei's notebook, and each one bore a code name and a door. Why had they decided to vote that way? They decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. That would allow people to force others to go through certain doors. Well, that wasn't the only reason. Junpei had proposed the voting system, and he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of, however, so he did his best to act calm as he began to open and read the pieces of paper. The first one read,
Ace requests door 1. Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why? No, we don't have time for that. Sorry.
"Ouch!"
Let's keep going.
That's pretty harsh. He opened the second one.
Next is Santa. He wants door 6. Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Junpei continued with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th pieces of paper.
Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Eh? Wait a minute! There's no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man!
No. There'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But...
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
I'm not an exhibitionist! I'm wearing clothes!
Barely.
So? Last I checked, that's not a crime.
Maybe, but what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
I'm gonna kill you! Jesus. Lotus's hair flared out like the mane of an angry lion, and she roared with a voice that shook the walls. With some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her.
Junpei, read the rest! Right.
Junpei tore his eyes away and looked down at the 6th piece of paper. He opened it. June wants door 6.
Yes. I don't really have a reason, I just felt like it.
All of the papers save Junpei's had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head. People who requested door 1, Ace and Clover. This was the door on A deck near the central staircase. People who requested door 2, 7 and Lotus. This was the door on the bottom deck and could be reached by taking the elevator to the bottom of the ship. People who requested door 6, Santa and June. This was the door on E deck and could be reached by taking the elevator near the central staircase down. It took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the 7th piece of paper and spoke.
Okay, the last one's mine. I want to go through...
Door 1, door 2, or door 6? I think Lotus just killed 7. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or he's practically dead.
What do you think?
I wish I had Jeopardy music to play.
What's wrong, Snowy? You wanna go outside?
Okay, let me see. So, choose between one of the doors while I let Snowy out of my room.
You're about to get ice cream.
Somebody says 6. anybody else? 6. 6 because it starts with S and arm spaghetti. Okay, door 6 it is. I think door 6 wins.
I want to go through door 6.
Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. It read Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it after all.
That's a problem.
June spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what she'd said.
None of these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Clover and I chose it! Clover and I chose door 1. Lotus and I chose door 2. That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however. Digital routes don't match up either. We've got similar problems. Junpei and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
Damn. What are we gonna do now?
What are we gonna do?
Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence. Suddenly, a Brooklyn accent. I don't know what happened there. Oh my god, is that Wario? I don't know, it looks like Wario. A mustache.
Why don't 7 and Lotus go through door 1? With me.
Her face was cold and flat, as was her voice, but her logic was sound. 7 and Lotus looked at each other. 7 plus 8 plus 4 equals 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. The first problem resolved, Ace spoke up.
What about me?
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable, given the horror situation in which she had found herself, but even so.
I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover suggested, we
RoboCop Waluigi, that's the best.
we can all pass through a numbered door. No one will be left behind. This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
Oh, welcome back, May. I don't know why it's giving you trouble, though. 3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6.
7? Lotus, what do you guys think? I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
Alright then, we're good to go.
At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck, where door 1 was, near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. Aww. I'm sorry, May, you still didn't get your upgrade, huh? The ride to E deck was a silent one.
Alright, let's go.
Santa's words jolted them to action, and they stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. Before long, they arrived in front of door 6. One by one, they put their palms over the red. With a soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. Aw, don't say that. I'm sure you will one day. Like when you can afford to buy your own internet and stuff. Maybe when you're living on your own eventually or something. You never know what the future holds. Oh, I see. Leaving for college. I didn't even think of that. The door opened, and all at once the 4 of them leapt through it. The girl that leapt through time. Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd entered through. They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on it for authentication one by one.
It stopped.
Yes, it stopped.
The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up out of his throat. I mean, I pay for my own internet right now, since I'm just living with my parents, so I pay like 100. It's always I think either 100 or just a little bit over 100, like $106. So, he'd been through the doors 3 times before, but repetition had not dulled the experience. He was not anxious to find it dulled, however. He hoped to be free of the ridiculous game long before that happened. All right, let's go. With that attempt at good humor, What was humorous about all right, let's go? Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. Okay, that's kind of weird. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door. Pray to the door gods? You say door god, and I just think of Persona 3. It was a heavy thing made of iron and more than a little threatening. He took hold of the bar that served as its doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. It was gargantuan and made entirely of metal, none of the accents of wood or tile he'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
Santa got out a few words before awe stole the rest of them. Who's awe and why is he stealing words? The rest were too... that was a terrible joke. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than gasps. It was easily the largest room they'd seen, and yet it was somehow closed and oppressive. The ceiling was at least 2 stories high, if not significantly more. I just read the word, that is so bad. Oh my gosh. So I was like scanning, I was like reading the game, but then side glancing at chat. And can I just tell you that my eyes immediately scanned over the word Akihiko out of everything in your sentence. I just read Akihiko and I looked over. That's so scary. I was like, game, what's that, Akihiko? It was easily 700 feet across and appeared to stretch the entire width of the ship. In the center of that gargantuan room stood a massive rounded building. Persona. Even from a distance, the sheer bulk of it was oppressive. Junpei could feel the room, the building, even the air pressing down on him. Akihiko hype. It's the only word I saw in that sentence until I really looked over. Junpei and the others were standing on scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that didn't seem particularly important. Thanks, Junpei. Alright, let's head downstairs. Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them. A long description of this room. They moved around toward the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached the building, Ace suddenly spoke up.
This looks to be the steam engine room.
The steam engine room?
Yes, the thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. Do you see the 3 round doors near the bottom? Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam. The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger.
I see. Even if Ace was right, the boiler was boiling nothing as they approached it. The entire room was as silent as the grave. Suddenly, egg hype. Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse to her knees.
Hey, what's wrong? Are you alright?
He dashed toward her and wrapped his arms around her shoulders to steady her. Sorry, his arm. It was then that he noticed.
You're really warm. Is your fever coming back?
Yes. Yes, it probably is.
But, sorry, it's June.
But I'm fine. Please, don't worry about me. I just need a rest, and I'll be fine.
Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did. Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her up against it. The whole thing was as silent as a pizza shop with no customers. Chair, that was a good one. She let her head fall back against the wall as if she no longer had the strength to support it, and drew a ragged breath. Her eyes were empty as if she was having trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult to her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist and clenched tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, and quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn. They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern. He didn't need words to express the urgency of their situation.
Alright, let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon.
Are you, though? She managed a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Oh, it's puzzle time.
Seek a way out.
Yep. Hi. Gonna save really quick. Saving, saving, saving. I'm all out of Arizona, so I'm probably gonna have to get something to drink soon. Okay, what should I do?
There's a bunch of wooden boxes over here by the wall. I already looked through those. There's nothing there.
Okay. Can I go up the stairs? Ah. Have fun in this room. I'm sure I'll be fine somehow. One of the doors on the furnace. There's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door.
Alright, let's give that sucker a twist.
Well, it's noisy, but it opens.
And it's totally pitch black in there. We should, go in here. Alright. Let's go.
Oh, I had
Oh, this looks like the door we went into. Where are we?
I had the half iced tea, half mango.
We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate.
Let's give that sucker a twist. Why does Junpei speak the way he does? I'm gonna remind you guys, while I haven't really, what am I trying to say? I am using a walkthrough right now strictly for this because I have beaten this game already, though it's been a while now actually, since it's taken me so long to have played it up until now. I still know stuff, but when we start Virtue's Last Reward, I'm gonna try to do my best to do that, because I haven't beaten that one. I'm gonna try to do that one to the best of my knowledge, but that probably won't go well. It'll probably take me like hours to finish one puzzle, so just warning you. Wait, what did I just do? Did I go through B already? Did I? I'm so lost.
Oh. Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. Let's give that sucker a twist. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Ah! Ah, shit.
Oh, we broke it. Oopsie.
Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself.
Okay, whatever you say. Is this B? Yes. Oh, I bet. See, that's my problem, is I'm afraid because I had a feeling that Virtue's Last Reward is harder. So you might have to help me with that. Sorry. That door was a friend of mine. What? Was it?
One of the doors on the furnace. There's a C on it. Okay, go in it. Go in the C door. Oh, did I go in the C door?
What?
Oops, I didn't mean to click that.
Why can't I go in? Did I click the wrong thing? Let's try it again. But then... So we came from here. No, I didn't mean to click that. No, I don't care about the boxes.
And then... Oh! Jeez. Junpei's such a princess. So... You can't reach it? So how do I get over there? Oh, what did I do? But I want to get there. But I want to get there. By catwalk, you mean narrow strip of metal. Junpei, are you brave enough to cross that? If you were to fall, you do realize that broken bones would be the least of your problems. Yeah. Where do we go? Oops, I keep clicking over there. The annoying type of princess. I can't walk over there. Oh! Found it. Let's use the wheel. You have a wheel. I've got the wheel I pulled off the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits. Sweet, it's a perfect fit, like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good, I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. We should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see, the wooden box. It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? Oh my god. It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? It looks like a... Can you just shut up so we can do the box? It looks like there's some sort of device in the box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn that wheel now. I'm counting on you. You just spoke a lot, and you didn't need to say anything. Alright, I'll turn the wheel.
Has anyone played Danganronpa another episode? I have. I played a little bit on here, but I'm waiting for the English release mostly now. I played like 2 or 3 chapters on here.
Huh? What's this? What happened? This wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left? That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah. We can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that'll be a problem. We'll simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I'll be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing, no sweat.
What kind of ice cream you have? Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, peanut butter, mint chip, green tea, red bean, mango ice cream, orange sherbet, tiger ice cream. What other ice cream flavors are there? Ow, my eyeball.
I believe the box has reached the floor. Yeah.
He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down. Did I say vanilla? Sardine. Spaghetti. The box had only recently hung just below the catwalk, now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near Oreo ice cream. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt. Rocky Road. Cookies and cream. These are all really good guesses. My ice cream. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt. Near where June had collapsed. Junpei could see her, still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they had all been thinking.
Well, of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
Why is he so salty? He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said is true.
What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps? Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion.
Santa's response was confident and certain.
She gets dropped into some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder than we aren't freaking out just like her, you know? So you're saying we're abnormal? Yeah. We're just running around this room solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
Santa snorted in disgust.
A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment?
Well, welcome back, Remix.
Is that what you're saying? Dunno. Dunno! But it does seem like a possibility, you know?
They stood there for a few minutes, no one speaking, until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him. We did? Who said? So let's go back. Sorry. Downstairs. The box.
There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them.
Oh, I thought that was the box. I guess not. Is this the box? Oh, control panel for something. I see. Some kind of machine. Maybe a control panel? Thanks, Junpei. Ah, no problem. Remix. Sorry, I derped there.
Oh! Maybe this hole is where the control panel goes. Well, there's only one way to find out. In you go!
Better hope you don't get electrocuted doing shit like that.
Dude, you did it! Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do that.
Pushing! Why? That is so unnecessary! Like, why defocalize everything you're gonna do?
Sweet, all sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And, oh yes, I think I just heard something turn on.
Too bad it doesn't make, like, R2-D2 noises.
Oh? What's that? What happened? Junpei, look, the conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? Well, now, there's still a bunch of coal on the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off the end of the belt into the wooden box where we found a control panel. Coal. Coal, huh? Cole Phelps. Badge 1247.
I think that was the name. That was the number of Cole Phelps' badge. Phelps's. I got a box of coal. I got a box of coal. I don't know why that's a good thing. I got a jar of that. I got a jar of that.
Golden gear. Doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well, then I imagine it was prepared especially for this game.
Stop breaking the fourth wall, man.
Looks like there's a door over here in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown into this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however.
Is that all there is?
Huge bronze gear. This has to be important. How? How could it be important?
Maybe they're just important for operating something? Oh, what is this?
So this is where you put coal into the furnace? That's right. I had a look at it earlier, but it's rusted shut, I'm afraid. Perhaps you should check the other side?
Eh? What do you mean, the other side?
What do you mean, the other side? Whoa, why is this one a different color? Do you think it's made of pure silver? No way. Silver's... No way.
Silver's way too soft to use for gear. Santa gave you some coal. Nice.
Ugh, shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. Shouldn't have got your hopes up. Were you thinking you'd haul this thing back? Nah, but I think 7 could probably carry it, don't you? Okay, like, it's totally not important, guys. Totally not important.
But that's all we can check.
What is this? Whoa!
I can check these ones. There's a hole that'll let us put coal into your butt. Wow, that's weird. That was a bad time to add your butt. Maybe if we can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Sorry, got a text message. That's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box, and nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a cold furnace do anything? Oh, well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stroke... You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right?
Oh no, chair!
Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal.
No, I didn't say stroke. No! You didn't hear it. You're hearing things.
This furnace is enormous. So we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well then, if the three of us work together, then we should manage to they talk a lot more than they should. Like, they should just be doing things.
I want to help too.
Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to it?
Yes.
Yeah, right. You look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you'd better rest up some more, alright?
But
No arguing. You need your rest, so you just stay there. We'll handle this.
Okay. I understand.
Alright, time for some manly work. Really, Junpei? Let's get this coal into them furnace. Just do it, then. Do it. What are you waiting for? Do it. Oh, man, this is a lot of work. I can't hear anything, so maybe you're hearing, like, shoveling noises, and I'm just not.
Can I guess which one that is? Is that Ibuki foaming at the mouth? Maybe. Maybe it's not, but...
Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that'll allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? It's the one of her screaming. That was my second guess.
But I usually like to use the foam mouth one. Ah, Snowy wants to go out again. Snowy, why do you do this to me? Hold on. Hey, I am back. I am back. Well, actually, right now, I'll be right back. Just gonna let my dog out. Oh, maybe I'll grab some water. Okay, good time to be right back. Which I shall be. Sorry guys, just one sec. I'm still here. I could chat with you guys for a bit. I gotta email work really quick. Because my aunt, who happens to live in Antigua, is coming to visit tomorrow. And I wasn't able to go to the airport, but now I'm being told that somebody might want to cover my shift. So, or at least half of it, cover half of it. So, let me just reply to them and sorry.